Artlist.io.
All right, welcome to Gen X Rated Tuesday edition. How we doing, Billy?
Good. Nice to be back after the break.
Was kind of a nice break to have.
It was a very nice break, yeah.
I would agree. Yeah, on to the next holiday, eh?
Yeah, full stream ahead into Christmas and
Yeah.
Hanukkah.
That's right. And Kwanzaa and anything else you might be celebrating.
Anything else you might be celebrating?
Well, appreciate you coming so late in the day here. Normally, we're wrapped up by now, so maybe we'll keep it short. But there was a lot going on in the last week. I don't think anybody could cover all of it, nor want to, frankly.
Yeah.
I mean, today was Trump's big cabinet meeting where every cabinet member was there.
The end of the year stroke fest. Yeah.
Oh my God, it was awful. Trump is just so low energy. He just doesn't look well, and these people are all just afraid of him. I guess I don't really know. They just praise
He
him.
couldn't even stay awake.
He definitely had trouble
falling
staying.
asleep.
You're absolutely right, and it's fairly obvious. I mean, Rubio's right next to him, talking about the Ukraine war, and he's just out to lunch.
He's out to lunch, but you know what? These people, they all know where their bread is buttered, and I'm sure they're mocking him behind his back, but they suck up to him because that's what sycophants do. They're all getting what they can. They're grabbing with both hands. And it's pathetic.
It's pretty awful. That table's full of terrible people,
Mm-hmm.
and they're just. I mean, Trump starts with affordability, that it's a made-up word. There's no definition to it. There is. It's a Democratic hoax. He gets so angry by like common sense and things that are actually true. He's flagged by Hegseth on one side, who might be brought up as a war criminal.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody can keep their story straight. I think he feels he's untouchable after Signalgate because he was unscathed. But you're killing fishermen. You talk about the drug trade and saving Americans as you're pardoning the Honduran president.
Yeah, a convicted drug trader.
That's right. Right into this country that you're talking so much about. Hegseth just gets defensive and talks about the fog of war, that you people don't understand it. And then they tried to put the Admiral, Frank Bradley, he's the one that made the call. So now they're pushing it down the chain of command and blaming him as the one that directed engagement to kill the two surviving people on that boat that they blew up the first time.
Yeah, because Hegseth left the room, the air-conditioned room I'm sure he was in. It's not like he was on the flight deck watching this from, the exposed to the elements. And he did say that, he gave the order and it was a legal order.
Well, and Hegseth, depending on who you talk about on that second strike, he was the one that said, kill them all.
I never said that. I didn't even stick around to watch it. I didn't know. I couldn't see.
And again, that's a lie. But then you have Levitt came out yesterday and pointed at the Admiral again. Trump asked Hegseth and he denied it, so Trump believes him. But the verbal order to kill everybody seems pretty direct. This is the same guy that told soldiers in Iraq to ignore the legal advice on rules of engagement. I mean, these guys are going back to prehistoric times. Is kind of how they see themselves, and that to me is terrifying.
Oh yeah, well, in his first term, he pardoned some SEALs that committed war crimes.
For sure, yeah, tough guy.
Tough guy, yeah. I mean, it's absurd.
And I will say this: that the Admiral Bradley was given a raise, so to speak. He was promoted from commander of Joint Special Operations Command to now he's the commander of U.S. Special Operations Command.
Well,
It's crazy. But they figure that'll keep him quiet, I guess. These narco terrorists are the ones we're going after, but you still have to do it legally. And we don't seem to be doing that. The fallback is that Admiral Bradley, will be meeting with Congress on Thursday. So we'll see what he has to say about that. Officially, he's been thrown under the bus.
oh yeah. I mean, this whole thing is just a ruse. Again, it's another distraction from the Epstein files.
Which
And
you hear nothing about. Good point.
Yeah. So it seems to be working so far, but you know what? It's not going to get him off the hook. This story is not going to go away.
I would agree. Maybe they're just waiting him out. I'm not exactly sure. Kristy Noem obviously was at the meeting, Homeland Security lady. And I just want to read a couple of her quotes just because I know how it makes me feel. I just don't know if this is where we're going as a direction of as a country. But they're not allowing, it's a travel ban for all countries, brown, except for South Africa because they're being persecuted.
Oh, yeah.
To come here. But she said a full travel ban on every damn country that's been flooding our country with killers, leechers, and entitlement junkies. The forefathers built this nation on blood, sweat, and unyielding love of freedom, not for foreigners invading to slaughter our heroes, the National Guard person, suck away our hard-earned tax dollars, and then to watch, snatch benefits that are for American citizens. They're not really taking care of us. Go ahead.
That's what this administration has done. They cut the federal workforce. They cut benefits that are paid for by our tax dollars. So the billionaire cronies could get tax cuts. So she just summed it up. She's just pointing the finger the wrong way.
Yeah.
And she's a horrible person. I mean, let's face it. She's just disgusting. Everything about her is just sickening. The way she lies, the fact that she has no conscience, she has no moral compass. She is simply a psychopath, I think.
It's a room full of them.
It really is. And she's one of the worst. She is, I mean, who shoots a dog?
And they've empowered her. As they go around the room praising our dear leader who's falling asleep, JD Vance, they ask about housing, why it's so expensive. And of course, he blames 20 million illegals, that illegal aliens taking homes that ought by right go to American citizens. Hedge funds came in and bought up single family dwellings. It wasn't illegal aliens. They're lucky if
well, he's part of a hedge fund. Let's not forget that's buying up land.
For sure. It just, they're always projecting onto somebody else. Even Noem went as far as to say that Trump kept hurricanes away. He made it through hurricane season, and they all kind of chuckle and applaud. But she did mention that if you do need FEMA, Trump was number one with that too, and getting people the funds that they needed. 150% faster payout than that last administration.
Yeah, right. So I'm sure there's a lot of people in North Carolina that may have a problem with that statement. Here in St. Louis, North City, that maybe would dispute the accuracy of that statement.
It's crazy. It just isn't a thing. They continue on just saying how great everything is. Affordability, as we talked about, is a made up thing. But the fact is that the average car price is $50,000, which we talked about. People are not buying new cars.
No.
The growth projection for 2026 is nil for the auto industry. People are buying used vehicles. They're taking longer loans to keep these older vehicles, and it's high prices and inflation. So maybe that's not affordability, but it sure sounds like it's in the mix.
Oh, yeah. I mean, listen, these people just lie. They lie like they breathe. They don't even think about it. It's just what they do.
It's pretty incredible. At the same time, Yankee candle maker Noem will be closing stores, cutting 900 jobs. We saw where it's at least on the interwebs about Campbell's soup, which we talked about. Now they can't give that stuff away. People didn't know how they were going to make their green bean casserole without it. Then Delmonica, they're charging 25 cents a can now. Delmonica came out and their green beans. The woman bought 5 cans, opened them all separately. They had varying degrees of actual beans. One of them, about a quarter of the tin was full. And then today, Ocean Spray came out and talked about their cranberry sauce because people complained that it was filled with
Rats.
water.
Oh, water. Yeah.
Got to get that weight somewhere. The latest one I saw today was a woman that bought Star-Kissed tuna. She wanted the white in water. When she opened it, she got the dark in oil. So
Ugh.
we can't even get canning right. So it all goes to affordability. But the ballroom, we're going to push through the ballroom.
Well, now he's got an issue with that because he wants it bigger than the White House. And it looks like he's already preparing to stiff the contractor. So, Trump being Trump. This is what Trump does.
It's amazing. It's amazing. He just talks about the 150 years we've really needed this ballroom. He's getting a lot of pushback because it's going to make the White House look tiny and nobody wants to do it. And keep in mind, all the money that he talked about are pledges.
Yeah.
Nobody actually gave any money. What else is new?
Exactly. It's, classic Trump. It's just an illusion.
It's thrust upon all of us daily. He talked about the pile drivers, and that's the music to his ears, and he just loves it, and so amazing. But Melania's like, "Oh dear, can you stop the pile drivers? They go all day and all night, as if they're sleeping in the same residence, let alone bedroom. Give me a break."
Yeah,
it's just crazy.
It is
Lutnick
crazy.
started by saying how the greatest cabinet ever assembled for the greatest president ever. You knew at that point you were in trouble. It's just too much. But
and they were off and running.
Yeah, and it went on like that. In the MAGA world, I guess Trump's the only protagonist. He's our hero, and he's the only source of truth. So if you're that narrow and you're that believing, have a second cup of punch because I hear it's great.
Drink the Kool-Aid, everybody. Well, it looks like MAGA world is starting to kind of splinter a bit too. I saw where Nancy Mace's, the lunatic from South Carolina, her chief strategist is resigning because she's not MAGA enough anymore.
Oh, wow.
She's left MAGA behind and he's not having it, so he's leaving.
Wow. I wonder what you got to do that.
I don't know. Ask to see the Epstein files, probably.
Well, and they do still want to see that, and the Charlie Kirk stuff still smells foul with his wife, and it just goes on like that. And
and one of the Congress people on the committee was showing the files there. Really, it's all redacted. He's like, what are we going to do with this? Everything is redacted on here.
You're right. The only thing that wasn't redacted were the victims' names.
Yeah,
and that's offensive. Meanwhile, our Department of Justice, Bondi, is suing Gavin Newsom for the 3rd time, getting the Civil Rights Division, which used to be colorblind. Now we're on this. We're going to end DEI in schools. I mean, it just keeps coming back around, and it's just such made up
DEI
nonsense.
in schools. What does that even mean?
I don't even know. But California's doing it, and they shouldn't be. So,
well, listen.
Go ahead.
She's a joke. I mean, she's the one that oversaw that sweetheart deal for Epstein in Florida. These people are all in it up to their necks. And this has to come out at some point. It has to.
I would think so, too. Brooke Rollins, the agriculture secretary, was talking about SNAP. They keep coming back to this story about how many people were given fake Social Security cards that were getting benefits. Not true. She praised Trump about kicking off 800,000 people off of SNAP. She came back saying that they want to be in the business of every state as far as SNAP. And the states that agree will get funded. The 21 states that didn't agree, including California, Minnesota, New York, mainly blue states, they will not get funding anymore starting today.
Well, and hopefully those are states that can self-fund because, the blue states seem to have more revenue than the red states, which always have a handout.
For sure.
Yeah, and what kind of a sick person brags about kicking 800,000 people off of food aid?
I know,
Really?
it's unbelievable.
I mean, we've got a sitting Republican senator who committed a Medicare scam, but
Yeah.
that's fine. Rick Scott, alien-looking motherfucker. Yeah, these
Still
people
only
are just
concepts of a
disgusting.
medical Medicare plan concepts.
Concept. Yeah, and but she did she did kick off her little praise to Trump by saying Merry Christmas, and Trump liked that. That's right, we're saying Merry Christmas again. We're going in on Christmas. Like nobody ever said you couldn't say Merry Christmas, you fucking dimwit.
I know it's always the distraction. Uh,
Always these stupid fucking. And here's the thing: people say Happy Holidays because it covers everything, and you don't have to waste time
sure.
with three separate greetings: Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa. Just hey, enjoy all the holidays, Happy Holidays, whatever you
Yeah.
celebrate. Hope you enjoy it, and let's move on.
I'm all for that, and I'm all in on that one.
Mm-hmm.
They coined the phrase that he's now president of the white people of the red states of America.
Oh, good luck with that.
Doesn't sound that far off. Um, so we'll see. It just gets worse. We're not going to commemorate World AIDS Day, which is something we've done every year since 1988. People wonder if it's because of the foreign aid cuts that have cost nearly 150,000 deaths because of AIDS, because of our lack of funding anymore. We'd rather throw the medicine out than take care of anybody. Just goes down the list. The FDA drops a proposed rule to require asbestos testing on cosmetics. Make America healthy again. We've talked about asbestos. The leading supplier in the world is Russia, so maybe that's the tie-in. Everybody loves asbestos. It's not as bad as it was. RFK Jr. plans to vote on ending vaccinations for all newborns for Hep B. There's research behind all these things that we're now all of a sudden on a whim taking away.
No, he doesn't bother to read the research.
He doesn't read research. He wants to re-examine vaccines on childhood immunizations in its totality. Like, are we starting fresh? Like, what? We've put in all this time and all this research, and we just discount it, and we go with our gut, and that's just not how science works.
That is not how science works. No, it's ridiculous. It's really fucking stupid.
It is stupid. And I will throw on this last part. Real ID, which was a major deal, they gave you about 3 years to finally get it. This administration has decided that if you don't have Real ID, you can just pay $45.
45.
So-
I thought it was 18. $45. Wow.
So it's not about security and having correct ID. It's legal for a price.
Mm-hmm. Everything
Which
is transactional
fits in
with these
perfectly.
people.
Yeah, that's this,
How much of that is Trump getting?
all of it.
How much you got?
Exactly right. So it's just really rough to listen to these people praise as people are losing their jobs. The last thing I wanted to say about Bessent, because they're going all in on this, but he's going to be reprivatizing the economy, which in his words are reduce government spending, cut federal jobs, and then we're going to turbocharge, his words, private manufacturing. The only thing I could think of was all these promises of all these factories that are being built and how amazing they are and all the money that's going to flood in. We're not even going to pay income tax next year because so much money is coming in.
So much money.
Maybe this is it. This is private manufacturing, which means you and I are stuck on the curb.
Oh yeah, private manufacturing. It means it'll go to the highest bidder that we want it to go to, who'll give us the biggest kickback.
That's right, and still make a lot of money, and you're still going to pay.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, who's even believing anything these people say?
There has to be somebody out there.
I mean, they've already hollowed out the federal workforce.
That's right.
They've cut funding for pretty much anything and everything that they don't like. Yeah,
Mainly things that help others that
Mhm.
don't help themselves. So that's a real problem.
Yeah, it's sickening.
It's pretty gross. I'm not even going to go to photos. I have pictures of these people, but Florida Congresswoman Kat Kamak went on TV saying how 1 in 6 people in the U.S. is foreign born. Okay. It's not sustainable to maintain our culture when we have this many foreign born people, and it's ending the underfoot of what America is all about. And I feel, they don't assimilate, she said. They bring their frauds, their schemes, their scams, their violence. I just don't, this doesn't jive with anything that's in my thought process. I mean, what is wrong with this? What are we as a country? I'm just confused.
I don't know. We're a shit show at the moment with people like that. I mean, Kamek, is that an American name? Where did your relatives come from? I'm pretty sure they weren't born here. I'm pretty sure, but I don't even know where to begin with these people. I mean, do you enjoy sushi? Do you like Asian food? Do you like pizza? Do you like spaghetti? Do you like spicy curry? Do you like, on and on and on, things that have been introduced by people that came here from elsewhere. What you could just gonna eat American meat and potatoes, and these people are a joke. They really are.
You can't eat beef anymore. Even the beef that they're trying to bring up from Mexico has maggots, is the concern. So good luck with that. Be extra careful. I don't know. I thought this country was a melting pot. I thought we welcomed everybody. This assimilation and falling in lockstep and not being able to appreciate other people's cultures because ours is number one just seems very un-American.
It is un-American. And what is the American culture? The American culture is supposed to be of openness and acceptance. And, you take a little bit from everybody that's here and mix it all up, and that's America. American culture. This country was founded by fucking religious nut jobs that the religious nut jobs in England thought were too extreme. They sent them here. The fucking Puritans. I mean, are you kidding me? That's American culture. Yeah. Okay, great. Let's suffer and work hard and listen to our elders as they grift us. It's ridiculous. It really is. It's pathetic at American culture. You know what? Australia was founded by convicts. And that place is a lot more fun than this place. I can tell you that, having been there.
Yeah, for sure. It's just like one grift after another. So we have talked about these accounts that as of January 1st, 2025, each child born in this country will be given $1,000. This has changed multiple times. Whether they're going to put the money in, who's going to put the money in, it will be taxpayer money. Obviously, it will be. Besant really wants people to save that money. And we talked about this. Hey, maybe I'll just hold it for you. You're not a good saver type of thing. But today, Michael Dell and Susan Dell came out, and they're pledging $6.25 billion to provide 25 million American children under 10 with the incentive to claim the new Trump investment account. So they're worried people won't do it. The money will be there. Trump won't dole it out to these kids. So it's unusual because that's great. They're willing to give this money. I will mention $6 billion is a lot. That's a very kind thought. The Dells are worth $148 billion. So, they're not necessarily going to feel it, but their heart is in the right place. The issue is that it's going to operate through investment accounts set up by the Department of Treasury. Here's Besant again with his little hands in the pie. It's going to be managed by, wait for it, private companies. Again, what's the percentage that you're taking every year to manage these accounts? And the fact of the matter is, Michael Dell and his wife are going to end up giving $250 to each kid, which is great to add to the incentive. But I don't think people are going to fall for the grift of, hey, you're giving me $1,000 that I can't touch for 18 years, and you're managing it. And I'm waiting till I'm 18 to see that there's nothing there.
Yeah. Oh, here's an IOU.
It's just crazy. So their statement was that every child can see a future worth saving for. The account will build hope and opportunity and prosperity for generations to come. And I feel like that's a really great statement. Again, I appreciate it, but it just all sounds made up. That's not the trajectory of our country. We're not looking out for the next generation. We don't even care. And here's something, that next generation doesn't need the prosperity. They feel like the planet's on fire. You're not listening to them. They don't think they're going to live till they're 75. You think we're going to raise the retirement age to 70, and then you're going to have 8 great years to spend the rest of your days before you die. It's crazy. These kids don't think like that. That's why people like Grassley can't run again. They are not relatable to what's actually going on on the ground with these kids, their education, the medical system for them, the environment, jobs. We talked about this. 25% of people with a 4-year degree are unemployed.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so we're putting this into a savings account so they can have prosperity and go to college, which is what the outline of this is. For what? To be unemployed? So 1 in 4 of them can be unemployed and jobless? What the heck?
Yeah, they'll be robot technicians. And somebody's got to sweep those factory floors.
We don't need that many of them.
Yeah, no, this whole thing just reeks of bullshit. And how do they decide which kids get the money, first of all?
They're basing it on zip codes. At least Michael Dell and his wife are basing it on zip codes. People that make under $100,000 and age 10 and younger. There's just not going to be a correlation between what Trump's spouting off and what the Dells are hoping to accomplish. And it's just going to end up money disappearing anyway.
Yeah, it's it's ridiculous. It really is. You want to give that kind of money, maybe put it into the healthcare system, or maybe put it into SNAP or something that actually benefits these children while they're young and need it. Because, obviously, if it's and it's ludicrous. It sounds ludicrous to even say, like, well, if you're making under $100,000, then, your family is a needy family. I mean,
I know, right?
Is that where we are now, that, you need to make at least $100,000 a year to even be considered lower middle class? I mean, this is fucked up in so many ways.
You're right. And then the poverty level for a family of 4 is what, like 18,000?
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
So it just seems like a lot of made up stuff. We're so focused on this circus that's going on that we're not really seeing what's happening behind the scenes, which is that infrastructure is crumbling. There is no jobs report. There is no gross domestic product report. We're completely left in the dark. The average cost of a new car being $50,000. I mean, who could afford that? It's just not a thing. I mean, some can.
Well, the only people they care about are the people that can afford that.
That's right.
First of all. And second of all, I forgot what I was going to say. I got so outraged and I got ahead of myself. But yeah, it's insane. I mean, these people, they don't care about anybody but the wealthy and their cronies and friends and anybody that can maybe do them a little solid.
They're just not even relatable. When you were 15 and you were excited because you were able to work, you were allowed to work at that age. There were limits to the hours and that you could be held to. That's off the table. Go work at the meat processing plant. Nobody cares anymore. But it used to be a thing where you'd look for a cheap car. You'd look for something that was reliable, maybe a Honda, perhaps a Toyota that was late modeled, and you could throw a couple $1,000s at it and you would have steady transportation. Nobody's just going out and buying their 15, 16, 17-year-old kid a $50,000 car. I mean, that's insane.
No, people are doing it, but yeah, there's not the average Joe. That's for sure.
It's not the average Joe. You're right. There's a lot of people doing that. You're absolutely correct. But it's not the baseline of where we are as a country. It was much different. We didn't consider ourselves poor growing up. And you could still find a car to share with your sibling and your parent and still not have a complaint about it. I mean, it was manageable. I feel like things now are just not manageable.
No, they're not. They're not manageable. They're not sustainable. I mean, everything that's going on. I mean, we've withdrawn from any kind of climate agreement. We're doubling down on fossil fuels. Trump's peace plan for Ukraine is fucking just giving Putin everything he wants on a silver platter and threatening the security of Europe. The cabinet is filled with just the worst people you can find. The FBI is run by an incompetent boob who, won't get out of his plane if he can't have his little jacket. The patches aren't on here. I can't go out like this.
There's no patches on here. It's crazy. And to your point, they sent our ambassador to Russia along with with Trump's son-in-law to make the deal. And
Another well-known grifter. Yeah, that guy.
And it's all about enriching
Kushner.
themselves. Now, after this meeting, Putin, who looks awful, I might add, right in there with the Trump brigade of looking old and not well. He says, "Hey, Russia's not seeking war, but if Europe wants a fight, we're ready." Is this why we sent our ambassador over there along with Jared Kushner to do this? Like, what have you done? You're probably still enriching yourself, but you're not solving the problem of the Ukraine.
Yeah.
What it really does is creates a wedge between us and our allies, and that our allies are even sticking by us. It's a lot of credit to them, because we're only slapping them around and acting like jerks. I mean, that's tough Americans.
Well, they certainly don't trust us. That's for sure. There's a lot that, I'm sure they're not sharing with us because we're not trustworthy. Anything you tell Trump is a direct, line right to Putin.
For sure. Yeah. Well, I don't think that peace deal is necessarily going to work. I know that Kiev and Zelensky came up with a plan themselves. I think that's kind of where Putin got upset, because, it went off the script. And we'll have to see how that goes. But you don't really hear about any of the world news outside of us, because we're like, so into ourselves. That's all we can ever talk about. I mean, Indonesia had floods, 700 deaths, 1 million people were evacuated. Barely saw it in this country. They had 504 people are missing. Devastating parts of Asia. It was Indonesia. It was Sri Lanka, southern Thailand. Killing more than 1,300 people. And it's like, they're not Americans. It's really not newsworthy here. Yeah. More Trump, please. Let's see him sleeping. Let's see where he got his MRI. I don't know where the MRI was, but they said it was the best they'd ever seen. That test I took, the MOCRA, best ever. I didn't miss a single question. No, you probably couldn't answer it. As we was telling the press, like, you couldn't do it. You'd fail. But I got them all right. And they just told me it's unbelievable. No president's ever done this before. It's just like, how much is enough?
No president's ever done this before. That's for sure. I mean, his brain is just leaking out.
He's 79 years old. So when you tell me he's in this amazing health and he's this, that, and the other, it's not about him. It's about the body at 79. You're not perfect. I'm sorry. I don't care who you are. That age has an effect. Let's be honest.
Well, it's a 79-year-old that the only exercise he gets is swinging a golf club and, lifting a Diet Coke to his, mouth. That guy, he's in terrible shape. His diet's terrible.
38 club championships.
Yeah, in his mind.
It's just crazy. We're so focused on ourselves, but we're so focused on this one person lying to us that we're not observing anything else that's going on. We're not observing the injustice that's going on for people that came to this country legally and are being kicked out.
Oh my God, middle school kids, they're rounding up middle school kids. They rounded up a young woman who went to report a sexual assault in California, and they fucking hauled her off.
It's the numbers. You need the numbers. And somebody's getting paid.
For what? Who's counting? Who cares? For Trump's ego?
Yes.
So Stephen Miller can feel like a big man because he's, obviously an impotent worm, weasel. It's just so un-American. It's inhuman is what it is. Numbers, you're racking it up. What the fuck? Who even cares?
Yeah, I don't think that anybody necessarily cares as long as they appease this guy, because maybe there's a fear to it. I mean, maybe the Supreme Court gave him so much power that everybody's worried about it. If I was in Congress myself, I feel like I would take care of my constituents and they can be the judge. If I'm not doing as they want, then they vote you out. But to abide by this guy and his thoughts, because you don't want to be primaried, you're taking your constituents completely out of the equation. And that's your whole job. It's not for you to go in there and be there for 30 years making the money. It's about your community. It's about this nation. It's not about you. But we're led by this giant narcissist that it's all about him. Everything's about him.
Everything, yeah. And, and so I can't believe some of these Republicans are still afraid of him. His poll numbers stink. The American public, for the most part, can't stand this guy. They're sick of him. They're sick of what's going on. Nixon. Yeah.
Which is
great job. You're number one.
Number one at being the worst.
Yeah. Great work.
Well, I don't know what you have to add to this. I really just struggling here to even want to go on, just because all of this seems so negative and a little bit um, hopeless. They're trying to build hope with these $1,000. Maybe you get a $2,000 return. That doesn't change the future that we're heading towards, which to me, I just don't feel. I don't feel the hope. I don't feel the strength and energy of this country moving forward. I just feel like we're watching and waiting, and then all of a sudden the bottom falls out.
Yeah, it feels like it's a country that's just looking for a place to fall down.
We're
It really
rudderless,
does.
and I just feel like our leadership is so poor,
Corrupt, immoral, corrupt,
toxic,
incompetent. Yeah,
all
just
the above.
incapable of telling the truth. I mean, KKK Carolyn just gets up there and lies every day.
I
And she
know.
was spouting off about all the fake news coming out of the White House. Like, did you hear yourself? You actually spouted out something true. Great job.
It's you. It was you.
Yeah, a call's coming from the House. It's absurd. So let's move on. Let's talk about Sid and the kids, man. Crosby.
Yeah, anytime he's in Philadelphia, it's very popular for Penguins fans because he owns that town.
Mm-hmm.
2 more goals last night. Rust had a goal and 2 assists. Again, we talked about Gretzky and comparing them, and I'm not comparing great to great. I'm just saying at 38 years of old, 38 years of age, Gretzky had 9 goals after 70 games. Sid has 18 after what? How many games? 25, I think.
I think 25. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
just incredible. I don't know how he does it, honestly.
It's amazing. They were talking about him on the NHL Network the other day, and they were just saying, he's probably the best athlete in the NHL. Just he's, first of all, he's an athlete. He's well-rounded, but he loves hockey, and he's, tremendously dedicated. And when that kind of talent has that kind of a work ethic, I mean, that's what you get. And on top of all that, he's, an amazing person.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible. It's rare to see, but
Mhm.
you're absolutely right about all of that. Really good teammate, really good person in general. It's impressive. I'm
So
hoping
yeah,
this will continue because he seems to have rejuvenated this team. Not that the infusion of youth hasn't helped as well, but you're talking about a 38-year-old player that's really at times carrying this team.
oh yeah, yeah, and it's a big deal. And this is the time of year when he usually locks in and heats up. So it looks like he's in it.
Well, I'm glad. I hope it continues. They're third in regulation losses, third least losses in regulation. They really need to clean up their overtime game. If they do, they could really be a contender. But it is nice that they're 5-on-5. They've been pretty good, and their record speaks for itself for a team that was supposed to be in the toilet this year. It's been pretty fun to watch.
Well, yeah, and they're, like you said, they're more fun to watch now. They're, it's not that same stale, shit you got the last few years of the Sullivan era. So
Yeah.
it's good to see. And now maybe, if we can get that kind of change across the river on the other side,
Not
looking
even
pretty stale on the south side there.
Yeah, well, the Steelers did get rid of Slay today. Both agreed to go their separate ways. He'd like to play for somebody else, even though it doesn't seem like he's still fit to play. And then they signed Thielen, the wide receiver that asked to be released from the Vikings. So you got a 40. I think he's in his late 30s, maybe 38. So you got a 42-year-old quarterback or 41-year-old quarterback. I mean, it's like, what are you doing, guys?
There's no plan. This was all just, Tomlin just fell in love with his concept. Well, I've got 3 man-to-man coverage guys, 3 lockdown corners. And it's like, okay, what are you going to, well, they're lockdown corners. Well, what are you going to do with them? How are you going to run they're lockdown corners? Going to be historic. And he got the historic part bad. It's been historically bad.
Yeah.
The rushing yards they gave up. It's the most since they gave up, again,
299
to the
Henry.
Buffalo Bills 50 years ago.
Oh my gosh. Oh,
1975,
with
O.J. Simpson.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's just been a big mess. And that's what happens, when you have a team that, relies so much on culture, right? The Steeler way, and it's just
The
gone
standard.
stale. And then you bring in a bunch of guys that Tomlin falls in love with and decides to throw money at. You're just adding like shiny ornaments onto a rotten tree, basically, because the infrastructure is not great.
Yeah.
The O line might be young and upcoming. You built your offense around 3 tight ends that you don't throw to.
Yeah. Prior.
You swung a deal and you brought in DK Metcalf, who they really don't use. His average length of target on Sunday was 2 yards. They don't throw
Incredible.
over the middle. The running game is kind of hit or miss, and defensively, it's horrible. James Harrison said he's done with these guys.
Wow. So if they get a new coach, he's willing to come back as a linebacker coach.
Yeah. I mean, you just need. I think everybody needs a fresh start. I think Tomlin looks like a guy who could use a fresh start himself. Maybe he can go somewhere where they have a quarterback. Maybe the Giants will trade for him, and he can ruin Dart.
Maybe.
Or just leave him alone. Like, you know what? Big Ben made his life easy.
Yeah, the quarterback's the key to this equation, and it's something they haven't had, and it's been extremely noticeable. And when they talk about, hey, next year maybe you get the high pick, who's your third quarterback, and then you have Will Howard as your 2, and then Mason as your 1.
Oh God, no!
Unacceptable. You're gonna wait a whole year to cart that out. I mean, now you're waiting for a rookie quarterback. Will Howard already is a rookie quarterback, and Mason kind of showed, as much as I'm a big fan of his, that he's basically a backup.
And not even a very good one of late. He really has slipped. He's looked terrible.
I would agree. It's been awful.
And do you trust this crew to draft and develop the next franchise quarterback? Because half the league is looking for a franchise quarterback, and obviously they've got 6 wins already. They could end up with 8 or 9, maybe. But you're not going to bottom out. You're not going to get that number 1 pick. You don't have the trade capital to move up that high. And again, do you really trust these guys to identify and develop that next guy? I don't know. I really don't. I don't know who's calling the shots. I don't really know. Is Omar Khan really good at his job?
Maybe.
He's had a couple of good drafts, so maybe, but
absolutely.
Franchise quarterback is a big deal. You either have one or you don't, and they don't. Aaron Rodgers looks like a guy who's just getting crankier by the day. All those stories about what a great teammate he is, and one of the guys, I mean, now it's become passive-aggressive finger pointing, calling out one of his tight ends and complaining that nobody's coming to his film sessions.
Well, they compared him to the Joe Pesci in Home Alone. He looks like he got his face busted in by Kevin, for God's sake.
I mean, Bosa planted him on that scoop and score. But again, it's because you're wandering around in the pocket. You're floating around like,
yeah,
get rid of the ball. Throw the ball.
For sure. Well, it'll be interesting to see. In typical Steeler fashion, they're going to go to Baltimore this weekend, and, it's possible they could win because that's just how up and down they are. But we'll see.
Well,
Baltimore has a lot to play for.
But I'm guessing Derrick Henry is kind of licking his chops right about now because
the rookie Harmon is out in the middle of that line. And again, like Black did a good job on that D line for the Steelers this past weekend, but you can't be out there that many plays. Any defense will wear down.
I think the defense was out for 73 snaps, and Ramsey played every one of them. Both the safeties played every single snap. So
crazy.
Yeah. I mean, they got some pieces, but they're not being used right.
Their coordinators are terrible.
And it just seems like the whole general attitude is terrible. I mean, you look at what New England did. They drafted a franchise quarterback, and they brought in the right coach. Vrabel has really brought that culture back. And, I was reading about it.
And a better owner than Art II.
Yeah, Art II doesn't know what the hell's going on. He doesn't care.
Agreed.
But they were talking about what Vrabel's done in New England. It's just a culture of openness. Tomlin, everything seems so hush-hush and close to the vest. And, Mike knows he's not saying. But, Vrabel, it's all open, man. These guys, they've become really tight. I saw that he put out like mechanics shirts with the name pad, everybody's nickname patch on the side to signify that these guys are here to work. And they're wearing them around. The assistant coaches got them. The players got them. I mean, It just seems like a culture where guys want to show up, guys want to work hard, they want to play for the head coach, they want to play for each other. Pittsburgh, it just looks like it's fracturing. You haven't seen that in quite some time, but
It's been a
it's
while.
a shame.
So,
Yeah.
sadly, we've lived through it before, so it could be back. I'm going to have to stop you on the Patriot love because I'm not going there. Cheaters. Okay.
Well, yeah, no, I'm just saying, but this is a team that's turned it around in just a few short years with the right head coach.
They got the quarterback.
They got the quarterback. They did. But I just think the culture needs a jolt. It needs something different. And anybody that trusts Art II to hire a head coach, he hasn't done it before.
Yeah, I don't think that's a good direction either.
I don't think that's in his wheelhouse. So maybe it's time for him to step down too. But he's going to do what he wants to do. He's the majority owner, and I think there might be some dissension amongst the minority owners, but he's going to have the final say. So we'll see. It'll be interesting.
Well, there's a lot of football left, so we can revisit that. First game up is this Sunday, so we'll see. I say go Steelers, but it's going to be tough.
Yeah, still a fan, but you just hate to kind of see what's happening to them, and it's very
and as
very
much as we said,
un-Steeler-like.
Sullivan, we respected the job he did, and he brought a couple Stanley Cups, which is amazing. Same with Mike T. It's not all on him, and I'm still a Tomlin fan, but if something's not working as a group, then change has to be made, and you can't fire 53 guys. So same with baseball.
Yeah, I mean, the game changes, concepts change, and you either adapt or you don't.
Yeah, can't be running stuff from the 70s, man.
Yeah.
Anyway, well, Rose, I know I kept you late here, and I know you have some things to do tonight. So unless you have a happier ending than Sid, you tell me.
Yeah, that's a tough one to top, so I'm going to stick with that.
All right. Well, that was pretty good. It makes my day a little better. Today was just rough, and all this fluffery and gaslighting's just it's a lot. So I appreciate you letting me vent and share.
Well, yeah, and the weather sucks. It's cold. It snowed. Haven't seen the sun in 3 days now, and it just
wasn't great, but
not great.
We'll go skate outside and see how that goes tonight.
All right,
buddy. I'll let you go. I'll talk to you later.
All right, good job.
All right, nice work today. See you later.